go. Well, hello, welcome everybody. We are live. We are live here with a group of panelists. Hopefully, you can hear my voice and now see our panelists. So, welcome everybody. I was the only
everybody.
I was the only one dancing. You guys all had your mics off, and I saw Mike dancing a little bit, and maybe you guys were dancing behind the scenes, but. Welcome. Happy holidays. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope everybody had a wonderful opportunity to be with your families and loved ones and friends. and if you were celebrated it on the beach anywhere or celebrated it wherever you needed to in order to relax and regenerate. So welcome. How's everybody doing?
Awesome.
Great.
Fantastic.
Good.
I know the angle's weird right now. Hang on just a second and I'll get adjusted.
If you don't know, I can't tell you
the
what.
Bridge. Dude, look at that awesome shirt. Who is that guy?
We are so happy to have Mike here. But before we go ahead and interview him, first I want to do our normal disclaimer. We aren't know-it-alls. We just love talking about our hobby. Well, Mike might know everything. But we love talking about our hobby. We love sharing our community. We love just kind of chewing the fat, as you'd say, and having a good time. And I can't wait to talk to Mike today. You are, Mike, a character. And it's awesome to finally meet you in person after watching all your videos for so many years.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That was funny.
Yo, man.
Definitely landscape.
You see how this is going to go.
Take over the show.
So I'll go ahead. Mike, what was the first memory here of you metal detecting? What was that memory? When was it? Who were you with? What were you doing?
I was a loner at first when I first started. I went out and got myself, after watching the Hoover Boys for many months, 6 months over the winter, and Stealth Diggers and Stealth Digger Nation, and I really wasn't on their Facebook group till like 2 years later. But I got an AT Pro and an AT pinpointer, and just went out digging. I got permission from the town manager where I live to do all town properties, so schools. I just went to the junior high and practiced the whole summer to learn my machine. And dude, that field, 10,000 coins, 20 rings. One of them was a class ring I was able to return to the girl. That was pretty cool. But that started off my first, really 3 months. I was getting discouraged at first, but boy, man, that class ring, once you find something like that and return it to somebody, game on.
Yeah, it's got a, I don't know if everyone on the panel has had the opportunity to return something to an owner, but it is an absolutely wonderful feeling. And, there's sort of an unwritten code, I guess, in metal detecting. Some people don't abide by it, but if I find something with a name on it, and I'm going to try and return it. And every single opportunity, I don't need that that little ring to make my life any richer. It makes me more richer to share it back with them. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's great. Yeah, I was on the Channel 3 news here in the state of Connecticut. I was blessed to later when I found the wedding band, and I was able to learn that as well.
That's awesome. I know Brandon who's trying to get back on chat. In the video panel. He's driving home right now. He's he detects in the water all the time. He finds a lot of those rings and stuff like that. Here where I'm at, Dave, where you're at, Audra, where you're at, Joe. Well, Joe, you can hit the beach sometimes too. Mike, where are you from?
And I do.
Oh, go ahead.
I do a lot of lake hunting too. So in the summer, but our window's so short here. It's cold most of the year.
Awesome. Mike, where are you from, by the way? I don't know where you're from.
I'm from Central Connecticut. I've been here my whole life in this town now. It was established in 1767. It was called Chatham, and then some reason in 1903 they changed the name to East Hampton. We used to have an Indian tribe here in town, and when there's still a few people left that are still here. And it was funny because I grew up with them, and I had no idea that they were part of the Indian tribe from this town originally until like two years ago.
Wow, that's pretty cool. It's a great area of our country. It has a ton of history in it too. Very much so. Just like New Hampshire, just like New Jersey. You guys are in some very awesome areas. I mean, I'm grateful too, but you guys also are in some great historical areas. Awesome. Any questions for Mr. Lyman?
So, Mike, what is your favorite place to detect? Do you like the parks, the fields, the woods, the cellar holes?
I'll tell you what, I mean, for myself, the school was great when I first started because I didn't know what the hell I was doing, I went to a cellar hole and I scratched my head. I walked out of there. I was like, what the? I mean, I found a little piece of a harmonica reed, but then I went to the school and I spent the whole time there, like I said, the whole summer. I found all that stuff. And I like going door knocking. I like the old farms. I like the old houses. The woods are nice too, in those areas, but door knocking, I've been on a farm for 3 years now, and I found there, I made it in the Digger magazine like 5 times just from the items from that place. It's nice to have permissions. I like door knocking. I think the permissions, meeting the people, making them up display cases for them, and then they're like, "Hey, when are you coming back?" I said, "Oh, this is fun."
Now, I noticed that if you go ahead and take a look at Mike's channel, you notice that he does a bunch of other stuff, right? I mean, you do a lot of coin roll hunting. And what's up with your butterflies in some of your other older videos? They're not even that old, but some of your past videos with all the cocoons and stuff.
Well, I do I take my daughter to shoot off model rockets. We do that. I mean, the butterflies though, I talked to Angelo on I'm going to mess up his channel name. I think it's Northeast Pennsylvania Archaeology and Research or something like that. And he did it one year. He had some milkweed plants. So I said, I'll try it. I got a couple of milkweed plants, and boom, I had like 31 3-inch caterpillars ready to go J hook. And so quickly got them into some aquariums. They ate some leaves for a couple of days. Then they hung. It made a cocoon thing. Then 14 days later, I think it was, boom, they hatched. And you wait a couple of days and let them go. I just wanted to try it, try to boost up the butterfly population. And we had a good time doing it. I think we released, I want to say like 12 to 15 or something like that.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
What's your oldest?
We really enjoyed.
Go ahead. I'm
those
sorry,
videos.
Audra.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm done.
We really enjoyed those videos too.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Something
great
different.
to share it.
Thanks. But at heart, I'm a treasure hunter. I'll stop at the Coin Star at Stop and Shop every time I go there. And last year, $28, 27.
You do so well with that.
I know. I'm lucky.
Amazing.
Last year, I had a run of 11 days. I found straight of money in there, so I just stopped there to check it to see how long my streak would last. 11 days. But the coin roll hunting, I just found over 200 silver coins hunting 104 boxes last year, just the whole year. And I just sold 100 of them. I sold 40 90%ers, and
Right.
the other ones for like $430. They only cost me $50.
Wow.
So, no, it's something different I can do in the wintertime when I can't metal detect,
Definitely.
What's your oldest coin?
My oldest coin was I found in the junior high field that first summer. I found it just before I found the class ring. It's like 2 months into the hobby. I dug down, it was about 15 inches. Like, man, I think it was like a 72, 73 on the AT Pro. And it looked like a knockout to an electrical panel because I'm an electrician for 30 years. And I was like, I threw it in the bag in the junk pile. Got home, going through the stuff. I said, let me see that. I took a brush, started cleaning it up. And I said, oh, there's a face on that. Clean it up a little more. Wow, there's words on this. I said, yeah, those ain't American words. And come to find out, after research, I was freaking out. I thought it was one thing, and it turned out to be a 1700 King William III copper halfpenny. He only made them
Wow.
6 years between 1695 and 1701. I just could not believe it was a King William III.
That's awesome.
I know where I found it. It was a straight line between where the shipyard was and the lake in our town. It was like maybe a 1.5 mile hike for them. And it was right in that direct line. Someone lost it way back then.
Wow, that's crazy. I don't think there's anything that old around here.
I would have never guessed that in the middle of a football field or soccer field. Yeah, you don't think that. Who
They don't
finds
chase
that?
you away. They don't chase you away from the fields.
No, actually, the principal of the place, I got permission from him as well. He says, hey, yeah, that's great what you're doing, because he was there when he tried to get on the news when I was giving back the class ring. But he says, yeah, come back anytime. He goes, yeah, go out and check out the football field. So I'll wait until the season's over before I do that. He goes, Tyson, I'll wait. And I did, and then what a football field! Holy cow! I found some old ladies, not old ladies, but ladies' old gold watch from like the 1920s. It was like, holy cow! I had a solid, nice, thick, solid gold back to it and everything. It was like, I couldn't believe the stuff I found in that field. It was amazing.
Very cool.
Sorry, the people on the YouTube chat. It's hard for me to try and pay attention to both here.
Yeah, we have. I believe right now we have maybe 10 people that are watching, maybe even less. Don't forget that I personally don't care. I know that we don't care. We're just out having a good time talking about our hobby. It'll stay up on the channel. If someone wants to watch it, great. If not, I'm enjoying this conversation. So, that's really what it's all about, is just our community. So how about jewelry? Are you, yeah.
Old jewelry. I mean, I found, I want to say 3 or 4 old copper and brass wedding bands from, whenever they were down. I found old dazzlers, they call them, something like, I don't know if you ever seen this one, this purple one right here.
Yeah.
Looks like an angel to me with a purple amethyst stone in it. An angel wing, shoulders, a halo.
That's
I
one of
found
my
that
favorites.
my first day out hunting with Bill Ladd. Then I just found another one too. I don't have it here. But it was funny because I sent pictures, both of these, to Gary Drayton, who was on Oak Island. He was like, sweet, good finds, dude. Top pocket finds for sure. It was great to hear back from him,
Very cool. Awesome. I'm going to loop, I'm going to quote unquote loop Stan in here. So you guys are taking the show real quick.
Mike, what's your all-time favorite find?
Oh my God. Why did you ask me that? It would have to be, it's this year. It's back there. I can't get it right now. But here's my white whale I found this year. That first one was at I found it in November, the 1795 Liberty Cap. I could not believe it. It was like unbelievable. I'm glad I stopped and asked the factory if I can get in there and do some detecting before they dug it up. And then I went to the mansion a week later and found 2 more bucket listers, a skeleton key, and just like you, Rachel, congratulations on your first skeleton key. I got mine too.
Yeah, congratulations to you.
Thank you. And then the next day I went and bam, found me a Connecticut State copper. That's the one thing I wanted when I got into the hobby, and there it was. Unbelievable.
That's awesome.
So
We're
that now
super happy
is
about
my
our
favorite
state.
find. But you find a $600 wedding ring and give it back to the person. Or I found that lady's wedding band with a diamond on it. She didn't tell me it had a diamond on it, but I found that and gave it back to her. Those are nice, but I don't know, the older relics and the I don't know. It's just neat to find the other stuff too.
We're the same way. Love the older relics, but it does feel great to find something and get it back to the owner.
Oh yeah. The one-offs are my favorite though. Something you never find before, or you didn't think you would ever find. I got so many of them here now. I just don't know where they are.
That's what we like the weird things, the strange and odd. Like, what is this doing here? Type of thing. How'd that get here?
Some of my favorite things that I find are weird, obscure things that a lot of people probably think big deal, but I just think it's cool,
Exactly.
Some of my favorite ones are like these knobs I found. And AR, thank you so much for the deer antler.
You're
I'm gonna
welcome.
put it to good
Pete.
use.
That is a great
and
display.
my ox knobs. Thank you.
It's perfect.
So how else can I
Great.
put these? And now when I leave them out, I almost got that kill cabinet again. I forgot. I can put this on there. It'd be lit up. It'd be nice to see all the time instead of all these were sitting in a display case with 4 other display cases sitting on top of it. No one ever saw them, So glad I'm starting to put my displays together, slow but sure, Yeah, I'm giving a lot of my display stuff away now because I just got way too much of it. And other people who can't, dig an ox shoe or some of the other odd stuff I find here in Connecticut. I love doing my giveaways and my prizes and stuff like that, and letting other people have a chance to have it in their collection.
Yeah, that's what we're doing too. We're starting to give some things away, and
Well,
Yeah, I won from you that big lead medallion thing there that you found.
Hindu disc.
Yeah, you found a few of those, and
Yeah.
just to have something that you guys dug is great to have in my collection.
Yeah.
I treasure that stuff more than I treasure the stuff I find.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to share.
Jim MD Melbourne sent some great stuff from Australia, and that's the top sitting on top of all my displays. I cherish that more than anything.
Mike, do you travel a lot when you go detecting, or I would say treasure hunting?
I don't. I mean, I've been to Rhode Island, to Pound of Ground, to meet I wanted to go meet Jersey history hunters and Ozzie Darren and a few other people, and Wild Man's Lodge, and it was great to go there and meet them. But for detecting wise, I stay close to home. I don't. Why travel an hour? There's so many places in my town here I have to get to.
Do you hunt with a partner, or do you go out by yourself, or both? Is someone that you go with a lot? I see some of the videos. So.
Well, I start off by myself. I got partnered a lot of years. Wild's Lodge, Ricky. He's fun to hunt. Our banter is back and forth. It's just awesome. It's funny, And then last year was 2018 was a year for collaborations. I met so many people. It was awesome.
Yeah, you hunted with my good friend, Dog is my co-pirate, Nate, didn't you?
Nathan, oh yeah. We talk all the
Nate's
time.
an awesome guy.
Yeah,
He's an awesome guy.
Dude, we come out here. He comes, he goes, Mike, I forgot my shovel. I said, crap, I forgot to grab the extra one. All right. First hole, first find, 6 foot brand new shovel.
Nice.
Crazy.
I witnessed that day. It was funny.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He told me about you guys hunting together. He really enjoyed himself.
Yeah. He's a great supporter of mine. I love Nathan. I mean, he donated a ring when I was trying to raise some money, and I ended up buying it. But it was nice to have something that he dug as well. I mean, the stuff that he finds, I mean, it's great because he's out there digging and he shoots me a picture. I'm like, no, oh my God, that thing is beautiful. Hey, do you mind if I share?
Go ahead. Yeah, share.
Oh, he shared it on his stream.
Oh.
Hey, Nance.
Hey,
Good to see you.
it's good to see you.
Oh, thanks.
Look at, I'm not working for you tonight. How's that?
I know. My chat went down the bottom here, and I can't figure out how to get it back up in YouTube here. Tried to shrink my thing. I better close it out and reopen it. See what happens.
How you doing, Stan?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good.
Hey, Stan.
Good.
Hello. What's up, dudes?
So,
Dude.
Hey, Mike, one of the things that you mentioned, and you do a lot of, oh God, here it comes.
What's that?
Mike's been masked.
What's the question?
Who had that question?
Nancy.
I have a question for Mike.
Yes, go ahead.
One of the things that you seem to do quite a bit and seem to do well at is permissions. For us newbies or rookies, any advice? How do you, I mean, I know you're very personable, so that's great.
Well, I always like to carry some of these with me and then show them these. He goes, you find
Those
these? I
just
said, no,
pop
but
around.
I want you, I tell them, no, I didn't find this or dig it, but I want you to have it for your time today just to talk to me for a couple minutes. I appreciate it. I said, what? I can have this? I'm like, yeah. They're like, yeah. Go ahead.
That's a good idea.
That's actually a really smart idea. I like that.
For $1 or $1.50, whatever they cost, you know, it's people seem to love them. I mean, I got all kinds of new ones. You got the nice eagles. I mean, these are beautiful, nice things that catches their eye, and then I try to tell them a story how I'm into the history and all that stuff, but then they're just like, yeah. I must but some of my best finds are from door knocking permissions. And you know what, guys?
Right.
It's our duty to get out there, do our door knocking, because if we don't get out there and save this history, who's gonna? And it's gonna be gone forever.
yeah.
I'm telling you,
Right.
if you don't do it, no one else is gonna. So get out there. I mean, what's the worst I can say is no. I mean, I got told no 3 times in 4 years. 3 times people told me no. The nerve of them. But that just meant, hey, there's nothing there. Go somewhere else where there's a bunch of stuff. Just okay, thank you anyways. You're welcome to keep that. And they said, no, I don't want it anyways. I said, good, I'll give it to somebody who wants it then. And I just move on, and I get to a place that that loves it, and I said, they come on back anytime you want, and it's wonderful. I have permissions that I've been at to. I have like 6 of them that I've been to for 3 years in a row now. I'm just welcome back to go. And some people I can take, a group of people too, but most of them I can only take like one other person with me when I go. So it's hard to take.
Well, one of them that really intrigues me is the church. How did you, I mean, I don't know if you can talk about it, but how did you manage to get that? Because I know a lot of churches where I live, it's no, they don't want it.
Oh, that was easy. I went to the post office to mail some packages, and I just happened to park in the parking lot between the church and the post office. And I said to myself, you've been wanting a detector since you got into the hobby. When are you going to call him and ask him? I said, hey, no better time than now. So I grabbed my phone and said, hey, Google, give me the number of the church here in downtown East Hampton. The number for the downtown church in East Hampton. And they gave it to me. Actually, I think I said call it, and I think it dialed it for me. And then some lady picked up the phone and said, hi, my name is Mike Lyman. Lived in town my whole life. I'm a big history buff. I'm loving to find out what's going on here 200-300 years ago. I've been going around town the last few years, metal detecting, finding some incredible finds. I mean, so incredible. I've been into a magazine 14 times now in the last 3 years. I was wondering if there's any chance I could check out your property to see if there's any history worth saving. And then she goes, hold on a minute. I have to have these talk to somebody else. I said, oh, okay, thanks. So the pastor got on. I didn't know it was the pastor at the time. He said, hi, this is Thomas Kennedy. How can I help you? So I went to explain it again. He goes, yeah, that'd be cool. I'd love to see what you find. So I've been there, I don't know, 6-7 times. I'm not even halfway done yet. I still have to go back.
That's awesome.
More, but I have a display that's full of 15 Boy Scout neckerchief slides,
Yes.
old coins, buttons, watches, rings, relics. I mean, you name it, it's in there. That there's just another one. I'm welcome to go there anytime I want. So, well, not during service, of course, and weddings and stuff like that. I love the bells they play in the background. It's awesome. So.
Oh, I know. It's a beautiful location. And I mean, it's one of the things that I would like to do is approach some of the churches in my area. But I've heard stories about, oh, no, I have to go to the board of directors and things like that. So I wasn't sure how you manage that.
Yeah, I stopped at another one down close to where I work. I just called the number and it was the pastor. And he says, yeah, I mean, I had people here before. They didn't find anything, but go ahead, have at it. So, yeah, okay, nice. I found a Wheatie, a 1915 Wheatie, and some other, that little tiny Scottish dog from the Monopoly game.
Yeah.
Something else I found. I can't remember. But, something told me for the last 2 years to stop there. I go buy it every day, give them a call. Was it going to hurt? I mean, I didn't find nothing, but it was worth a shot.
I love when people say, go ahead, give it a shot. This place has already been detected.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, okay, there's a challenge for me. Plus, plus with the technology that's out now, it's just so different. The game has totally changed with places that you have you hunted before, and even like 5-6 years ago, you can go back and well, obviously the ground changes, but I mean the ability to unmask a coin now in all of the brands is just remarkable compared to what it was.
I'll tell you what, dude. I went to a place with the AT Pro first, my favorite farm permission for 3 years. I went back there with the AT Pro with the Nell big coil on it, the 15 by 18. I went back there with the AT Gold, the AT Max, the Equinox 800, in the same areas, and I just keep pulling stuff.
That's
awesome.
Incredible. That really is incredible.
If you had a place, now we've all answered this, so you got to answer this. If you had a place to detect, where would it be? If there's one place that you could detect, get a day's permission to.
Well, if it wasn't so hot and there wasn't so many damn flies, I'd love to go down to Australia, meet all them guys, and hit the gold fields. But
I know, Jersey History Hunter Woods.
That too, well, of course, that's just to hang out with you guys mostly. I mean, there is in Connecticut here the original path that goes from Boston to Hartford when Hartford was established in 1646. I'd love to get on that original path where it goes through Putnam and stuff. My cousin's like a half a mile from it. There's an orchard up there now. I just haven't had the time to get up there. It's like an hour away from me to check it out. And stop that, Audra. I'm going to start yawning too.
I'm sorry.
And then I want to be able to, get out there one of these days maybe. But I'm just having fun around my town. It doesn't cost me nothing to do. Cheap on gas. It's less than a few miles away. Most places I go to, most of them within a mile. So it's great.
I'd like to go on the White House lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Be a lot of sprinkler heads and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's happened there for years. All the Easter egg hunts and all that stuff. I mean, there's been a lot of people out there doing stuff.
Yeah.
They're all, they're going to drop stuff, lose stuff.
There's a question from actually one of my students.
I got a better answer. I want to go over to Nathan Dog as my co-pirate and hunt his honey hole.
Good luck.
Thank you. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
Oh, no, that's all right. Austin wants to know what detector you are using now. I know that I think I've seen an Equinox or a Simplex in your. I couldn't tell.
Yep, I use the Equinox 800 right now, and then I also have the Garrett AT Pro. The Garrett AT Max with the little 5x8 coil on it. I want to get a carbon fiber shaft and a 15-inch double D coil for the Knox, though. But
nice.
I love them. I love that the upgrade is just amazing for the Knox for me. I mean, it takes out a lot of the false targets and. The nickels, though, I keep finding tons and tons of nickels with this thing. I can't stop.
All the nickels the AT Pro ignored.
So this current location that you're going to, the bed and breakfast, what are you hoping to find there? Something intrigues you to go there to dig. So what are you hoping to find?
Well, I said I found that Connecticut State Copper. It's a 1787. So I was thinking there's a 1700s house there that they took down when they built the mansion in 1878. I mean 1872. So the people that did it is one of the owners of the Bell Manufacturing Company, the Bevan Manufacturing Company that made the bells. So I'm hoping to find some old bells, some old cordial bells, some old fancy bells, bicycle bells, Castoga bells, anything. Bells.
That would be a great.
Bells.
Bells.
Bells. Yes.
I found my bucket lister bell. Kind of. I'll share it later.
All right. Cool. I want to see.
Hey, does this look like it?
Oh, come on now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
Yeah. And if
I
you saw
don't
the
have
video,
one yet.
Yeah.
See there.
I mean, it's not like my honeycomb one here.
Oh, wow.
That's gorgeous. That is absolutely beautiful.
Or my one and only Stan.
Where'd he go?
I don't know.
Yeah, I've never found a bell, but I did find a candle snuffer.
Oh,
They're cool too.
That's a cool find.
I never found a thimble.
Yeah. It's weird. Like,
I found one digging under a dead rotted tree.
Yeah.
all right, I'm sharing a find. Here we go. Ready? All right. So, hold on. We got we got to share here. So here's the deal. So you're more than happy to share. I'm sure a lot of people have found a bunch of stuff. I have stuff to share, but I don't want to hog time. I feel that we already know I found a Croto Bell. I want to share something that was an absolute shocker. It hasn't been on video yet. Video's coming. Dave and I were hunting. We were in the back part of an old fairgrounds. The fairgrounds isn't like, I mean, it's a probably a mid 1800s fair.
Yeah.
It doesn't have, I guess it does now have 1800s history, but I ended up posting this, and Audra or Rachel ended up trying to help me find this, what it was. You remember that?
Yeah.
And if Liz is still in the chat, Liz should know what this is. I'll share. I'll actually share the other side of it, and hopefully you see that. And tried to date it without a date actually there, but we ended up finding that it was a Canadian halfpenny. And 1844. Now, it was sticking straight out of the ground next to a tree, visible. I didn't have to dig it. Visible. So
That's
good for
crazy.
yeah. So that's my share. That's my share.
Nice find.
Awesome. Very nice.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
There's a question in the chat from Deej. She's wondering if the map that she sent you, did it help you at all?
Yes, actually, I stopped at two of those houses, and they told me no. So there's a couple more I have to check out still. But yeah, it's all. I have another map in town that I use. It has the railroads and all the churches on it that were in the early 1800s where they were and everything. So yeah, it definitely helps. Who else? I think Wildman used his map, and he found some stuff. And who else did I talk to who used theirs?
I've got a map too.
Oh, does it work for you? Did it? Nice.
I'm gonna check a few places out this spring to see if that location is still how it's changed. But one of them looks really promising. So
actually, I talked to yeah, thanks, Deez. I talked to Sebastian, 92 Finder. He's from Haddam, where the thing she gave me is from. There's a spot right along the Connecticut River called the Haddam Meadows. It's open fields. But they've had Connecticut Raft River races, fairs, carnivals for the last 100 years there. So I gotta get over to across the river to the town hall and check with them to make sure it's okay before I get in there. I'd love to go back there and check it out. Like I said, it's a little farther away from home. Oh, they freeze or the ambient girl freeze?
No, I think everybody looks good.
Okay, I'm back now. Almost host.
We need another
We're looking forward to coming back and visiting you, Mike.
Oh, I can't wait.
Definitely.
You going to Rhode Island then?
What was that?
You guys are going to Rhode Island?
Oh yeah, we're going to the Pound the Ground light.
Are you stopping and picking up North Jersey or no?
No, we always offer, and he's like, I don't know. He didn't want to put pants on.
Stop and pick me. Oh, stop and pick me up. I promise I'll wear my pants. It's a wild man. I don't know wild man's going this year.
Oh.
And
What a
I'll see if I can talk to people. Nancy, are you going this year?
I want to go. I really do. I want to go.
Nancy. Stan, are you going? Is Stan still
I
here?
am going. How's that?
I think Stan popped out.
Oh.
Yeah. No, there's going to be quite a few digs, I think, this year that I'll see a few of you at, which I'm looking forward to.
I'm hoping Ozzy Daring comes again for sure. He was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Ozzy
Mikey
is
Hippie
great
Signals,
to
I hope
stick
he
with.
comes this time.
Iffy and I have been talking. We said we're definitely going to get together this year. So
All right, cool. I never made it back to Bill Ladd's bottled button dump or something like that. I never made it there.
yeah. He's going to be doing
awesome year of
spring.
collabs.
What's that, Nance?
He's going to be doing the button dump again this spring. And he did say that I could go. So I'm looking forward to that. That place is insane from what I've heard.
Jordy, I got to ask you, what is your favorite find?
My favorite find has to probably be, if I go back, it's probably my very first silver coin. It was a Mercury dime, 1942. And the reason why is because it took me over a year to find a silver coin. And I was detecting in literally the same places that I'm finding the 1870 something coins. It's just the detector. But my first silver coin hooked me forever, pretty much. I mean, that was what kept me going. I know that Audra and Rachel and a lot of you are relic people, and I think I love relics, but I don't hunt a lot of relic sites. So a lot of the old coins are what I really like. So if I would have one favorite find, it's not going to be the old stuff or the relic stuff. It's the actual coin that really kind of kept me going, and that was my first silver coin.
Cool.
Yeah, that's definitely very cool. We like the old coins too.
Yeah,
You know,
they're relics.
and that's a great story. I think it's awesome.
Yep. Dave, you want to share?
Mine is kind of the same thing. When you remember when we first started, you and I, and we came over to my house, you gave me your little, was it the Fisher, I think?
Probably that or the Tesoro.
Yeah.
I did actually have a Tesoro. Yeah.
Okay.
And I started going around, you left, and I found a 1942 standing Liberty 50-cent piece at the base of an old oak tree, and still my favorite. I mean, like you, damn, wow, that's awesome. This is cool. I'm going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Same
It
thing.
is. It's amazing when you find a coin.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, you see,
Especially in
people
your
doing
own
it.
backyard. I mean, I never thought I'd find anything like that, in my backyard. And I did.
Hey, I went right next to the East Hampton Library's driveway in an old house there. I asked the lady if I could do her front yard. She goes, yeah, okay. Right by the telephone pole, 4 feet off the road, 1917, walking Liberty $50.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Yeah. That's only been the only walker I dug. I dug a Benjamin Franklin last year at a Boy Scout camp. That was pretty cool.
Walker's my favorite. I've only dug one.
I haven't
too.
done any.
I love that coin.
What year was yours, Odd?
It's 40.
It was your only one.
The one at Camp Evans.
Yeah, it was Camp Evans. Yeah. I don't remember. It wasn't that old. It was. I don't remember.
It doesn't have to be that old. It's when you find the coin, first the excitement of it, but then it's like the person that lost it, how long it's been in the ground, where did it come from, how long is it, where is it traveled from? I mean, I ended 2019 with finding a 1908 silver bobber in my backyard in the woods. And I also found a 1906 Indian head penny the same day, within a couple of hours of each other in the woods. And in completely different locations. And still, it's like, I'm not finding a lot of signals in this one area. And then I found the silver bobber. And I'm like, why is it here? This is where I find oxen shoes. It's like, why is it here? Where did it come from? It's all those things you start going in your mind. You start creating all these stories and trying to figure out, okay, was it just a farmer coming through? Was it, I mean, we have a soldier or something. It's like, where?
Could have been a hunter. I found a mercury dime in the middle of the woods. It must have been a hunter lost it out of his pocket or something. I don't know.
I can remember my first silver dime because it's actually on one of our videos. I found a barber, so I just skipped right past the Rosies and the Mercs and went right to the barber. And then like 6 inches next to it, I heard the signal again, had her come and check it. She dug it up with another barber. And one was
that's right? Great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joe, what's your favorite?
Man, that's a tough question. I don't know. Everything's so like I'm a relic guy. I mean, I love old coins, but I don't know. It's definitely something that I found in Ohio. I can guarantee you that. I don't know. I found 2 silver thimbles this year, which are up there.
Oh.
Didn't find those in Ohio. I found those in a ball field, 1920s ball field. I think it's got to be that Marine Corps button. The Marine Corps button that I found. It was like War of 1812 era Marine Corps button.
Nice.
And I think that's got to be up there. Of course, Mike was talking about his wedding rings. Sorry, the light's going bad. I'm actually sitting in a parking lot right now. So if the lights are flickering, it's headlights driving by me.
Oh, you're good.
But I think, I don't know. I think the brass wedding rings and stuff and the watch winders and, those kind of relics. I don't know. It's kind of hard to pick one find, but those are up there. Those are something that's pretty special to me.
They're all awesome finds.
I got two military ones I found this year. One of them just made a American Digger there with the cadet button from West Point, the USMA, and then this Silver War one with the eagle on the anchor on top of 3 cannonballs. Found in my home.
Oh yeah, nice.
Found that at a cellar hole. And both
so
of them.
What is that one?
What's that?
What is that button?
It is a Civil War Navy officer's button. And there was only one guy in my town who was in the Civil War in the Navy on the ship Lackawanna. And it must have been at his house, I'm thinking, at the cellar hole I found in my town here. That's the only thing I can think of. And both of them were brown when I got them out of the ground. 2 weeks later, I took a Q-tip and lemon juice, and the gold gill just popped on both of them. It was amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, they're in great shape.
Yeah, unbelievable. But buttons this year is fantastic. Those two are, I just can't say enough about them. It's just beautiful.
Nice.
I've been very blessed this year. I'm so thankful.
Going back up to the top of our agenda, I forgot to ask, did anyone get anything special for the holidays, metal detector related? Anything cool?
This is cool to me. Probably, maybe not. I can share it real quick. Hang on. Give me a second. Right here. my grandpa had this car. I'm not sure what year it is. Can you see it?
Yeah.
I found that it was like an inch underneath the dirt, and
Wow.
the screen thing behind it kind of pops off of it. But I just I thought that was
That's incredible.
That's a cool old Pontiac.
Yeah,
That's very cool, dude.
that is so cool.
Very nice.
Yeah. Wow.
And then Mother Nature gave me a great thing too, to put a tree on my house. So
Oh,
we've
no.
been dealing, we're still dealing with that.
Oh,
We had a
That's
big,
not nice.
a big
Sorry to hear that.
windstorm that came in and just
Well, it was bad. I mean, really
it
bad.
was.
We lost power in the area, and when I found out that Dave had I immediately texted him, "Hey, like, I'll come out and help." He's like, "Unless you can lift a tree off of the house."
70-foot tree.
Did you ever find out what year that grill came off of?
No, I've been looking. I have not been able to verify it for sure yet.
It's got to be the early 60s or 50s or something.
Hey, I was thinking 60s or 70s, but I don't know.
Well, I had
maybe it is 50s. I didn't look 50s.
Is that Pontiac Bonneville?
Yeah, Pontiac Bonneville.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's GM. I don't know much about GM. I'm more pony car.
One more time. There it is. Pontiac Bonneville. And they've at the fairgrounds they've had the demo derbies every year. So I'm figuring somebody probably pulled a car through the woods and trying to get it there or whatever, or was working on it and it fell off.
Wow.
It was probably not 30 yards from where Jordy found that Canadian half-cent thing that he found.
So we got to make a correction, and Donnie's in the chat, and a lot of other people. Donnie said that it's not but this is what Audra or Rachel found it, and it was. But someone in the chat, and I think it was Don, said it's a Bank of Montreal Canadian token. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, Jordy, you found that
is
same.
a Bank of Montreal Canadian half-penny token.
Maybe half-penny token, yeah. So maybe I'm saying it wrong.
That's
I don't. Yeah, I don't care.
That's
It was
Jordy.
still worth half a
Awesome
penny.
coin.
That's the same thing you found in my cousin's yard, but it was bigger. Remember that bigger
Oh yeah.
coin?
Well, I found something similar. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll give a shout out to Kurt. Congratulations, Kurt.
Yeah, I'm gonna good timing. Here we go. So I always like to share different videos from around the metal detecting world, and so what I do is I go on, I look and see what's happened in the world of metal detecting this week and who's found what. And I asked Joel from Digging Deep if I could share his Real find, and he's in the chat. Thanks, Joel, for letting me share that. I'll share that now, backed up with what Kurt found. And if you are, I always like to think that no one's really under a rock, but in the metal detecting world, the Hoover Boys is pretty popular, and whether you like them or not, Kurt found an unbelievable on everyone's bucket list type of a coin, and so I'll share that right now with everybody, and hopefully y'all can see and hear this.
1825. I didn't think they went up that high.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not Kurt.
Don said they did. When did they stop making them, Don? 40s?
I believe.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Dude, it's a gold coin. Come on, man. It's big. It's big. It's big. It's the same as yours. It's the same as yours. Oh, please be clean. I don't think I got it. I'm not crying, but I feel like I am.
Cry it out, buddy.
Cry it out. 1740, dude.
You got an old one.
So what an amazing find
That's
for
amazing.
Kurt, and great find, Joel. Awesome stuff, just awesome stuff. And I'll continue.
I love his voice.
Oh, he was he's like, so I'm crying. I'll tell everybody right now, I'm crying if I find a coin. and I'm not worried about it at all.
But that Gideon and his voice, just listening to him,
Oh, that's
that's great.
Yep, the old cliche. That's what it's all about, right there.
yeah, that's
Mhm.
it right there.
Best part is he had somebody to share it with.
Yes.
Yep. And I'm hoping he takes your advice and sends that story in.
I hope he does too. I'd love to see him and Brad with the gold coins on the cover of American Digger magazine. That'd be awesome.
Yep. It would be great. Would be great. We got 10 minutes left in the show. For those that are in the chat, love for you to join us in the after party. The after party means that we turn off the live stream. We don't broadcast out to YouTube anymore, but we all stay on the panel, and you can come in if you want. I guarantee that you won't be on anything live on YouTube, but you'll definitely be with us. And if you want to do that, I will share the link
It's a great time.
in the chat. Yeah, in the chat. I think I already shared it in the chat, believe it or not, if you scroll up.
So all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies.
Does anybody have anything else to share what you found this week or last week? Anybody have anything that they'd like to share?
We found we didn't like the cold that much this week.
But we did want to mention we did get ourselves something good for Christmas. We got a Simplex machine and started playing around and swinging that out, and we love it.
So much we're gonna get a second, so we don't fight
We
it.
might get another one.
That's cool. That's awesome. I can't wait to see you guys swing with it and
That's right.
some stuff. It's awesome.
Oh, our last two videos, one, each of us was using it. So even though we didn't like we didn't post this.
We didn't post
This
it.
past weekend, Audra pretty much 75% of the time was units. So you don't really see us, like we didn't talk about it like the first video.
Has
So
anybody
we are
seen
using-
Iffy Signals videos? Does anybody like the Vanquish at all?
thing?
I haven't heard anything about that too much.
You didn't see Mikey's review where he compared them both in his test garden? Laying
I saw a hunt
Yeah,
with
he's-
I actually, yeah, I did see that.
I saw a hunt with Bill Ladd, and there's somebody hunting with Bill Ladd, and they were using the Vanquish a while back.
That
I
was
really
good.
like that machine.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't released
Probably
yet.
Mikey.
Well, here's
It
the
sounds
controversy.
really nice.
So that's interesting you say that, Rachel, because here's the controversy. I was listening to a podcast a couple weeks back or even a month back, or even a video broadcast or something, and someone was one of the dealer's friends was complaining because he's a Mind Lab dealer, and unfortunately what happened is Vanquish has now a deal with Dick's Sporting Goods, and within the last month before the holidays could go in and buy a Vanquish, but you could not get that detector at any of the Mind Lab dealers in the United States. And so there was a big kind of little bickerish fight that was going on where Mind Lab wasn't really taking care of its dealers, and the dealers were pretty upset and going into a big box chain. And so there's still some I guess murmuring out there about if the Mind Lab dealers are what's gonna happen and how Mind Lab's gonna make it up to them. But yeah, that did happen.
Oh.
All I know is that Mikey got a good deal. He got his on Black Friday, and he got I think I want to say it was 35% off or something like that. So he got his at an awesome deal, and
Ow.
just to see what that machine can do next to old iron and new iron. It's amazing. I can't wait to get one.
His videos have been great about it. I've actually enjoyed watching that because I didn't know much about that machine.
Yeah, we wanted to get a Vanquish, but last I checked, it was really hard to get it. Where the Simplex, I didn't have much of a wait time.
I hear you there. I called Dick's right after that, and I couldn't get one. So they didn't last there too long. The ones they
So we
had.
will get one as soon as we can.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And you can't
You just get up
beat
there and
the
swing.
Simplex
I
price.
found good stuff with everything.
What'd you
I
say?
like my bounty hunter.
What'd you say, Nancy? Nancy, what'd you say?
I was saying you can't beat that Simplex price that you girls got.
We
Yeah.
got it on Rhode Island Relics website.
Very cool. I'll tell you what, you know, for what, $250 out the door. I mean, something like that. I mean, it's not only a begin. Yeah, without the head.
Waterproof too, right?
I'm sorry.
Is it waterproof too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It vibrates. If you have it underwater, you can feel it go off.
Got a light.
Flashlight.
Yeah, it's got a light on the back and everything. It's a pretty interesting rig for you guys to check out. I know that I've looked into it, and I'm, like I've said before, I'm real interested in trying to get one.
Is that the one that goes deeper in relic mode compared to park mode?
I don't know.
There's so many new ones out there. I've been watching so many reviews in the last 2 months. It's
It
crazy.
does go deeper in field mode, and
That's what it was.
yeah.
Yeah, we were just really impressed for, you know, an entry-level machine to be, you know, all the bells and whistles to compete with the higher.
Now, is that a multi-frequency machine too, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really light. That's another reason we wanted to try it.
How are the tones? Pleasant?
Very.
Yeah, I was afraid. We thought we wouldn't like them. Like, I don't like the ATs in standard.
Yeah, they're slow.
I don't like the tone of the ding. You know, I don't like the sounds.
And you can adjust the iron tone.
Yeah, the volume.
The volume higher or lower. So you could always hear it in the background in all metal mode, but you could turn it down.
Right.
Which is nice. That's cool.
No, it's a great thing too. I mean, I've been watching a lot of videos about the Simplex lately. I'll be honest. It's intrigued me, but I think it's really great because of the price and for people getting into the hobby. I mean, it's an investment. We all know this hobby is an investment. And that's a great way to start off with a powerful machine for little of the money, especially if like people have kids.
I mean, most of us don't have money to throw around, so that was my interest and Hunter's interest in the beginning, because we see the questions all the time online. Oh, I'm looking to get a detector. What should I get? And everybody throws Equinox 800,
favorites,
you know, AT Max, you know, and all these high-end expensive machines. And I'm like, you don't even know if you like it, but if you want the bells and whistles, you know, we'll get one and check it out, and then we can.
You can try ours when you come dig with us. Yeah, Nancy.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna try it too.
Everybody, Mike.
What's up?
It's a digging
Come on
party.
over, everybody. You could try our.
I want to try your bounty hunter.
I got coffee.
Hey, I keep a bounty hunter in my car, so.
So do we.
Hey,
I thought you had
hey guys.
Coco.
We got Coco too.
It's
Hey
great.
guys, sorry to
for testing
interrupt. I gotta take off. I'm having, you guys can't see me anymore. It's getting all weird. Next week I'll be in front of my laptop, and so I won't have these technical difficulties. But it's getting pretty dark outside, and I think this was causing this.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Great to meet you.
Joe. Take care, buddy.
Nice
Safe
to meet you
travels,
guys.
Joe.
My
Safe travels.
great guest. See you guys.
See you, Joe.
All right, bye.
Bye,
Take
Joe.
care, bud.
Bye.
See ya.
Just real quick, the Hunter GT is in the chat. He's got really good videos on the Simplex.
That's true, and
Very much.
he's a dealer as well, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Right.
A good dealer, a real good dealer, as you'll hear. A real good dealer. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. So as we're closing out, we got about another minute or two left. Just wanted to welcome everybody who's kind of late to the here. If you're not sure about our stream here, just so you know, we're just out talking, having a conversation with different people within the community. Like I said before, we're not know-it-alls. We just love talking about our hobby and love talking about our community. And what a better way of doing that than having as many people come to a panel and just discuss different things than this. So, Mike, thank you so much for being on.
Thanks,
really,
Mike.
really, truly.
Oh, Jordy, thank you so much for having me. Well, thank you there, Auden and Rachel, too, for having me. And Nancy and everybody.
The only reminder, I have two reminders. One reminder is if you scroll up in the chat, I ended up putting a Zoom link in for all the people that would like to be in the after party. Please try and click that link. Very simple to just kind of pop in here and sit and talk little off the record, if you will. And then I'd like to share a couple other things going on within Metal Detecting Nation. On January 15th, a week from tonight, Liz will be joining us from Digging Canuck. On January 22nd, Lori, Eric, and Matt will be here from Relic Dirty Hands. And on January 29th, Ken from Adventures in Dirt will be joining us as well. I will always link their channels in the show notes so that you can take a look at their videos if you're not familiar with them. So I will just simply say my goodbyes to everybody. I'll let everybody do so as well. We'll keep the stream going. I'll turn off the live YouTube part of it, and we'll just go into the after party. So thank you all for
Come on,
joining
guys.
us.
Come to the after party. Come
Bye.
on to the after
Come
party.
join in. Come say hi. Let's go.
Come hang out.
Thanks, dude.
Hey,
Come
Nance,
join
I think
us.
the Simplex is coming soon. Nance, your machine's coming in 2 weeks.
All right, I'm turning it off. Thank you, everybody. Great job tonight.
Thank you, Jordy.